Identity politics doesn't create solidarity between people. It treats each identity separately, focusing on and fighting for its own particular concerns. So, in a way, each identity operates like a private lobbying firm, trying to influence politicians to pass laws beneficial to its own industry. Lobbying firms do not care about the common good, and if their private interest is incompatible with a different group's private interest, they'll happily fight them over it. This might be surprising to hear, because liberals claim that they support the rights of all identities. In practice, though, they only support an other group's rights insofar as they don't impinge on their own prerogatives and privileges. This model of activism does little to address injustice and inequality. Rather, it merely makes the tools of oppression accessible to a more diverse sampling of the ruling class. Here's a real-life example. In the 1990s, Hillary Clinton was seen as a feminist icon, having achieved a very high political status despite being a woman, shattering the glass ceiling, so to say. But she did so by playing the same political game that men played. In the 90s, that meant being tough on crime and supporting policies that targeted black people. So Clinton, on her road to becoming the first female president, didn't mind throwing black people under the bus. A similar dynamic is now playing out with Kamala Harris, who made her career locking up mostly black men for minor offenses to provide the state of California with cheap prison labor. Another example is Palestinian rights. Any support or even mention of the Palestinian people and their plight will get you accused of anti-Semitism. In this case, we've clearly decided that Israeli rights are more important than Palestinian rights. Why? Simply because the Israeli lobby is much stronger than the Palestinian one, if it even has one at all. To sum up, identity politics provides a framework for groups of people to fight for their own rights and representation within the status quo. But it doesn't fundamentally challenge that status quo. It doesn't ask why these disparities between groups of people exist in the first place. And we've seen that the success of one identity can come about through even worse oppression of another. Instead, we should fight to expand basic human rights for all, and make sure that those rights don't just live on paper, but are actually secured by a government that serves the people, not whatever lobby is currently the strongest.